Yo, what's good, everybody? Give y'all a minute to get up in here so we can get rolling on this live stream. Brake slamming, my favorite thing. Yo, what's good, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're at in the world. Boy, Snap to Look Real, aka The Definition. Welcome to Freedom's March. All right. It is Sunday, April 28th, 2024, and I'm on the road back to Georgia, like I do every week. Pretty soon that is not going to be a thing, hopefully, because I got shit in the works, you know what I'm saying, to keep my ass at the house more often. Anyway, I wanted to dive into this whole Bill Haney thing, right? Of course, I'm going to be talking about boxing, but there's a greater message. There's a greater message than just what's going on in boxing in this live stream. And as an anarchist, I feel like this is very, very applicable to what I believe in. Now, anybody that is in boxing and knows what's going on with Devin Haney, and Devin Haney just had a fight with Ryan Garcia and all this, that, and the third, and there was a lot of build-up leading to the Devin Haney Ryan Garcia fight. You know what I'm saying? A lot of words were said. A lot of people sensationalized this, that, and the third, and Bill Haney, as the father of Devin Haney, is not only the father of Devin Haney, he is Devin Haney's trainer, he is Devin Haney's promoter, and Devin Haney's manager. So Bill Haney wears a lot of hats. And he does talk a lot. He talks a lot of slick shit. He talks a lot of big shit. He talks a lot of sensational shit. He promote. It's a promotional thing, right? And what I see when I hear Bill talk, especially when his son has a fight coming up, I see a lot of good promotion, a good promotion of his fighter, and this is the promoter's job, right? And understand, these people are in boxing, right? They're not in chess. They're not in tennis. They're not in a spelling bee, right? There's not a national spelling bee. It's not a debutante ball contest. You know what I'm saying? It's not a beauty pageant. It's not, you know what I'm saying? It's none of those things. It's not. This is what we're talking about. Is two people getting in the ring to squabble, to fight, right? By all intents and purposes, one fighter is trying to destroy the other fighter. They're punching with all their might, right? Some fighters, right? Some fighters use boxing, some fighters use power and punching and all that other shit. But at the end of the day, you're trying to take that motherfucker out. And this is well understood in combat sports. Any combat sport. You understand? And let's say in the MMA, mixed martial arts, kickboxing, Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, you are in combat sports. The operative term is combat. We're talking about combat, right? And leading up to this duel, which is essentially what it is, You are dueling with another person. You are going in there to end the other person, and you don't give a fuck what the outcome is, right? You want to win. You want to win. So when you get in the ring, you're not going to be tiptoeing. You're going to touch gloves at the beginning of the beginning of the round, and you're going in there to destroy that other person, right? Destroy. And so in the lead up to that, you are going to build it up, right? You want people to come see this. You want people to come see the violence. You want them to come. Look, I want you to come watch me or my fighter throw hands with this other fighter, possibly knock that other fighter out, and possibly kill that other fighter. You have a license to kill when you're in that fucking ring. And so in the lead up to that, how appropriate is it to promote a fight much in the same way, right? If you're promoting a fight, you're not going to be gentlemanly about it, right? Because no one interested in that, especially the casual boxing fan or the casual combat sports fan. You're not like, oh, hey, this guy, he's a great fighter, and I have much respect for him. Hopefully, everybody comes, hopefully you go in there and you duke it out and somebody wins, and that's great. No, fuck that. You are going to attempt to do the same thing during promotion that you're going to do during the fight, which is destroy your opponent in any form or fashion, right? That is what you're trying to do. All right, let me see who's up in the building. Happy New Day. Sir Snap was good. Bye hearing bye. Dead Mike was good. I think people are mad because the black boxer got beat by the superior. Oh, man. If I wanted to see Haney hug Garcia, they hugged. Listen, they were holding each other. This is a complete ignorance by Dead Mike. Ryan Garcia is not a superior boxer. You understand what I'm saying? He's not a superior boxer. That's it. That is the most ignorant statement. Ryan Garcia is a puncher. You can see, and here we go with the casuals not knowing what the hell they're talking about. But that's par for the course. Dead Mike wants to come in here and show his casualness, but that's okay. So anyway, when you're promoting a fight, you're going to promote it like you're in the ring against that opponent. So you're not going there to be nice. You're not trying to. You're going to talk shit. You're going to build interest in the fight, and that's what Bill Haney does, point blank and period. And you can tell that it's for the purpose of promoting that fight. And everybody has a problem with how Bill Haney speaks. They blame Bill Haney for Devin Haney losing the fight, when it really is just Devin's fault. Devin lost the fight because he lost the fight. Devin lost that fight against Ryan Garcia because he decided not to box past round 6. You understand what I'm saying? Devin Haney was whooping on Ryan Garcia for round 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. He was out boxing Ryan Garcia. He won those rounds, point blank period. But he decided that he wanted to try to knock Ryan Garcia out by walking him down, chasing him around the ring. That was his fuck up, right? Bill Haney didn't do that. Now everybody's saying Bill Haney should fighter, right? You gotta do what's best for your fighter, and you gotta make a decision, right? To me, Bill Haney probably didn't make the right decision, but Devin Haney kept getting up. Devin Haney kept wanting to fight. And sometimes as a father, you want to see your child come through adversity, especially your son. You want them to have that warrior spirit, test themselves, and come through on the other side. And if he loses, it is what it is. People like that wouldn't understand that, because all they care about is sensationalism, and they don't know anything about boxing, and they don't know anything about combat sports. All they do is regurgitate talking points, right? So if you see Dead Mike in here with his comments, you'll see what the average casual boxing fan, what's on their mind. They're just regurgitating talking points. Devin Haney has no power, and I told you that last week. That's not true. Devin Haney does have power. And I like that Dead Mike comes in here and he trolls, because half of what he's doing is trolling, right? He knows better, right? But he's still a casual, so there's that too. Because if he wasn't a casual, he'll troll a little bit better than that. He'll come with something a little more challenging, right? Now, I think it was round 2 or 3 where Devin Haney hit Ryan Garcia with a left hook and damn near knocked Ryan Garcia down and had him wobbly. Now, that was because there's power. There was power in that punch. And, and you're talking about from a boxer who was much more depleted than Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia came in 3 pounds over. Now, everybody want to say, oh, it's just 3 pounds. Again, that shows how casual you are, because if you know anything about cutting weight, you know that those last 3 pounds are the most difficult to lose. They could not even just last 3 pounds. It could be last 3 pounds, 5 pounds, 10 pounds, whatever it is. For every individual is different for every individual. But Devin Haney had the discipline to go ahead and cut down to 140 pounds. Ryan Garcia did not, right? Now, Ryan Garcia will tell y'all he was drinking all week, all this, that, and third. That has no bearing, right? If you're not depleting yourself. If you're not depleting down to 140, but you're doing what you want and you're not really trying to cut weight, yeah, drinking some alcohol and all that shit is really not going to affect your power and speed if you sober up a couple days before the fight, right? But you're not trying to lose the weight. You're trying to have the advantage. Ryan Garcia understands how big a deal those 3 pounds are. That's why he did not lose them. That's why he knew it would be an advantage to him, right? 140 pounds is light shit. It's not featherweight, no. So lightweight is 135 pounds. 140 pounds is super lightweight or whatever. They got all these. They created extra weight divisions to accommodate certain boxers who don't want to put in the work. But I think it's super lightweight. And then 147 is light middleweight. Then 154 is middleweight, right? So you go up from there. So the bottom line is, Bill Haney was doing his job and promoting his fighter. Win, lose, or draw, that's what he was doing, right? And it worked, because guess what? The build-up was good. Him and Ryan Garcia did a lot of great work building up this fight. And I believe it will show when we learn how much money these guys made in this fight, right? And guess what? Devin Haney gets to retain his titles and all that other shit. So it is what it is, right? He's still the WBC champion at 140 pounds, and hey, Ryan Garcia gave that up. Listen, Ryan Garcia had the advantage, and those 3 pounds were a big deal. But Devin Haney decided to fight the guy anyway. That's on him. Devin Haney lost. This is not about making excuses for Devin Haney losing. He lost fair and square, because he signed up to fight Ryan Garcia when he knew he was weighing 143 pounds. So it is what it is. But Ryan Garcia is not the superior boxer to Devin Haney, period. Anyway, now, why do I say, so people say Bill Haney needs to shut the fuck up because he is ruining Devin Haney's career, all this, that, and the third. Well, who else needs to shut the fuck up? Does Eddie Hearn need to shut the fuck up? What about Henry Garcia? What about Teofimo Lopez Sr., right? What about all these other promoters and all these other boxers and all this shit that talk all the shit they want to talk? No one gets on them. For whatever reason, everybody hates Devin and Bill Haney. I don't. Devin and Bill Haney is held to a standard that no other boxer and promoter is held to. And that's how you know they're the most feared duo in boxing. Even with Devin Haney's loss, right? Even with Devin Haney's loss. Now, there are a lot of people out there that think that Devin Haney's done and all. When you take a beating like that, you're not going to come back the same and all this, that, and third. But we don't know how they're going to come back, right? We don't know what they're going to do. We don't know how well he's going to recover. You know what I'm saying? If he does the right things, he has the right nutrition, has the right discipline and all that other shit, and allows himself to recover and heal, he can come back better, right? And it's been like that throughout boxing history. There are boxers who, some of the greatest boxers in the world, lost over 10 fights. They lose, right? Sugar Ray Robinson lost a lot of fights. Sugar Ray Leonard, Tommy Hearns, Marvin Hagler, Mike Tyson, Lennox Lewis, right? Vladimir Klitschko. You could go down the list. George Foreman. All kind of fighters, right? All kind of fighters. And these are fighters that got beat on in the head way more than Devin has ever been beaten in the head, like, right? Listen, at the end of the day, you don't want your favorite boxer to be 50 or 60 years old, can't form a complete sentence, right? And one thing I will applaud Mayweather about is changing how you approach boxing, right? How the way you approach boxing should be focused more on boxing, right? The art of hitting and not getting hit, and you can still make amazing fights with that strategy. Look what Mayweather did to Canelo. Canelo learned how to be more of a defensive fighter from Mayweather. Now, his footwork ain't that great, but his head movement, his body movement, and his footwork has improved. He used what he learned from Mayweather to improve his defensive skills. And so, and Devin Haney, being such a great boxer, has not gotten hit a lot, right? When he fought against Regis Prograis, he set the record for the most defensive fight in boxing history, right? He got hit less, less percentage than any other boxer, any other boxing match, right? Because but he was still able to put a whooping on Regis Prograis, but he barely got hit. I don't even think he got hit more than 3 or 4 times in that fight. So understand that brain damage and all of this stuff, right? It is built up over time, right? Built up over time, getting hit in the head repeatedly over time, over years and years and years, right? And then you also have instances where, hell, you can get hit with one good punch, fall into a coma, and die. Like this, I've got the boxer's name, but one boxer, he's 26 years old. He got knocked out and died shortly after, just recently. And that can happen too, right? It's a dangerous sport. It is a dangerous sport. So it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, these fighters are putting their lives on the line, whether they get knocked out or not. Before, a motherfucker could never have gotten knocked out before in a boxing match. You know what I'm saying? They could, never got hit. They could rarely get hit. You know what I'm saying? Be the most defensive fighter on earth. But all it takes is one shot. All it takes is the perfect settings of conditions, and you can die with one punch. Did your brain hydrate enough? Right? Did your brain hydrate enough? Do you have enough? Are you malnutrition? Did you you know, it just, there's a lot of reasons that someone can die in a boxing match. The less hydrated your brain is, the more space you have between your brain and your skull. You understand what I'm saying? So this is the condition under which Devin Haney fought. He had less hydration in his brain than Ryan Garcia did. So this does a lot of things. There's a lot of cascading effects that can happen. And Devin Haney survived, and you know, he was very well spoken after the fight. You know, he was able to talk, and it is what it is. Now, having not been hit so much repeatedly over years and years and years will probably help Devin recover and get back in and get it cracking. Who was a heavyweight boxer? What are you talking about? Dead Mike says Devin Haney got a gift decision against Loma. That is completely utter bullshit. I watched that fight repeatedly, and if you go check out BFTB Sports, he broke it down round by round in slow motion. Not slow motion, but rewinding, stopping, and showing every punch that landed for both fighters to the best of his ability. And Devin Haney clearly won that fight. Like, miss me with the bullshit. Miss me. Anyway, he was a heavyweight. Heavyweights hit harder. But heavyweights fight other heavyweights. And heavyweights are going to have more punch resistance than non-heavyweights, or people lighter than heavyweight. And it equals out. You understand what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's why they make weight classes, because you're going to have, it's going to be a more even playing field, right? If a heavyweight fights another heavyweight, it's an even playing field, just like if a middleweight fights another middleweight, right? Your punch resistance goes up the more you weigh. The bigger you are, the more muscular skeletal density you have. You know, it just is what it is. Anyway, so if Bill Haney needs to shut the fuck up, who else needs to shut the fuck up? Everybody in boxing. So you might as well just make the fights, you know, and just everybody shut the fuck up. Don't do any promotion until the fight happens, right? That's really what we're saying. Because if Bill Haney is not allowed to talk shit during a fight buildup, then no one should, right? But as an anarchist, I believe it's the opposite. If everybody else gets to talk shit, Bill Haney can talk shit. Everybody can talk shit. That's the beauty of free speech. You can say whatever the fuck you want to say. You can talk shit, you can lie, you can embellish, you can hyperbolize, you can say, oh, my fighter is the greatest fighter in the world. There's no way to really determine that unless you fight every fighter in the world. But that's, you know, it gets to a point where people get so pedantic that there's no point in even trying to argue with these people. And, you know, when you try to educate, when you're arguing and debating with casual fans like Dead Mike, what you end up doing is trying to educate them, and you're no longer arguing your point. You're trying to get them to learn something they don't want to learn, right? Because all they care about is confirmation bias. Dead Mike probably doesn't like Devin Haney or Bill Haney, so he has a confirmation bias, and he's going to go with whatever agrees with his mind, agrees with his perspective. Whoever says something that he agrees with, that's what he's going to go with. So that's what happens with most of these casual fans, and that's all good, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I can be objective. I can be consistent. Devin Haney got his ass whooped. There's no excuse for it, because he signed up to fight Ryan Garcia, knowing that Ryan was coming in overweight, knowing Ryan had a hell of an advantage. It is what it is. And then he tried to fight Ryan Garcia's fight. That was another mark against him. It is what it is. Let's see. Canelo. going down. What? Canelo going down this weekend. I think Munguia, he might. You know, depends on. Well, we'll see. That's it's going to be an interesting matchup. Just leave family and religion out of it, out of the track. Why? Why? Then you had to take that to Ryan Garcia, because Ryan Garcia brought religion into it, right? And I don't think that Bill Haney, I don't think anybody attacked anybody's family. If your family is on your team and they're a part of promoting the fight, then they're fair game, right? So if Devin Haney is on the dais at a press conference talking, and Ryan Garcia's mother starts talking shit from the audience, well, she opened the door to get talked about, and no one talked about her. If Henry Garcia is on the dais and he's talking shit, well, he left himself open as fair game. And people attack Bill Haney all day, every day, and no one's talking about family then. No one see, you can talk any shit you want, right? It is what it is. That's the beauty of free speech. I'm an anarchist. You can say, if you want to talk about somebody's family, what can you do? If you want to talk shit about somebody's family, bring family into it. You just got to be prepared for the consequences. It is what it is. Freedom of speech doesn't mean freedom of consequences, right? Because not everyone believes in free speech. And if you can say something that's going to trigger somebody, and you got to be prepared for what they might do in a response. It is what it is, right? So, just like I believe wholeheartedly in free speech, if I say something that triggers somebody and I'm in their presence, I got to be prepared for whatever they might do. And yes, they're attacking my free speech by attacking me, but that doesn't mean I'm not prepared to defend myself against them. That doesn't mean that just because I believe in free speech doesn't mean I'm like, oh, well, nothing's going to happen to me if I use free speech. No, I can get attacked. It is what it is. I can trigger people with my speech, and certain consequences will happen. It is what it is. But look at what happened. Look at what's going on with Mayweather and Tank Davis right now. I mean, it's, and what's funny is these guys are talking mad shit about each other. Mayweather is talking about Tank is gay and all this other shit, sugar in his tank, all this other type of shit. They're going back and forth talking shit, and everybody dismisses it as, oh, well, they're just faking and promoting. It's just bullshit. Oh, they're just doing it to promote the fight. When is Tank Davis fighting Mayweather? No, he's fighting Frank Martin. How is it that you're promoting Tank against Frank Martin when Frank Martin isn't even coming up in the conversation? No, right? Henry Garcia called Haney dad nappy-headed, and that was not groovy. Well, what can you do? What can you do? It exposes Henry Garcia for the type of cat he is. Just like Teofimo Lopez Sr. says the N-word all day, every day. Teofimo Lopez Jr. says the N-word all day, every day. But what can you do, right? You can get mad about it, but they have the right to say it. They have the right to say it, whether it's right or wrong, whether you feel is morally correct. It's just talk, right? It is what it is. So the one thing that you can do is, if you're a black fighter and you're fighting against Teofimo Lopez and he's calling you the N-word, he's saying shit about black people disparagingly, and his daddy is too, beat his ass in the ring. Just beat his ass. You know what I'm saying? Hey, say the N-word now. The bottom line is free speech is free speech. I don't care what they say. These fighters, and guess what? If and Henry Garcia calling Bill Haney nappy-headed probably brought more eyes to the fight. They probably got more pay-per-view sales. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, free speech is free speech. Henry Garcia could have called Bill Haney the N-word. What was he? I mean, what can you do? It is what it is. And here's the thing. Devin Haney got out there and fought with emotion. He fought with anger. And this is what got him fucked up too, right? He let it get to him. Instead of fighting smartly and sticking to a strategy and making adjustments, right? He decided that he was going to trade with a power puncher like Ryan Garcia. Listen, man. Now, from someone who close to the Haneys and was there at the fight that I know of, he said that Ryan Garcia came in damn near 180 pounds. Devin probably hydrated up to 160, 165, right? But at the end of the day, Ryan Garcia had less challenges rehydrating than Devin Haney did. And so you're talking about Ryan Garcia damn near 180 pounds, right? Fully hydrated, you know what I'm saying? Never dehydrated in the first place. Never completely drained. Is going out there with his full power set. And you're going to go and trade with him? It's not very smart. And so, hey, there are a lot of boxers out there that if they approached the Ryan Garcia fight like Devin Haney did, probably would have got knocked the fuck out. That's just the end of the day. Ryan Garcia is a very talented puncher. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. But anyway, that's just... And there are some things that I saw. There are certain adjustments that I saw that Devin Haney could have made to avoid that left hook. Because that's really... everything that stung Devin was that left hook, right? Every time he got dropped, it was a left hook. Every time he got hurt, it was a left hook. There are ways he could have avoided that. You know what I'm saying? And when Ryan realized, hey, this dude ain't making no adjustments, I'm gonna just keep doing the same thing I'm doing. Jab, jab, left hook. Jab, jab, left hook. Jab, 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 left hook. That was his strategy. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Just not very many. Anyway, there's certain things he could have avoided a lot of that, but it is what it is. Why do Puerto Ricans think they can say the N-word? Well, because they grew up around a lot of black people. They feel like, I don't know, the black people that they're around let them say the N-word. I don't know any. I didn't grow up around any Puerto Ricans. I'm from LA, so I grew up around Mexicans and black people. You got to ask some New Yorkers that, right? Now, a lot of Puerto Ricans, Puerto Rico is a U.S. protectorate, right? Puerto Rican is not a race. Puerto Rico is just a country, right? Puerto Rico it's a land, it's a piece of land, right? So there are a lot of different racial groups in Puerto Rico that make up Puerto Rico. Black, a lot of them are black. Like, a lot of Puerto Ricans are black. They're Afro-Latino, or they're, Afro-Indigenous Puerto Ricans, right? A lot of Puerto Ricans, Dominican, they're black. They just have a different mix going on, right? A lot of them are Taino and black. Taino is the Native American people that occupied the land of Puerto Rico when the Europeans showed up. Many of them were enslaved, and then many of them Now, much of Puerto Rico, just like many other South American countries, already had black people there before the Europeans showed up, right? So, and this is not very well understood, right? A lot of people think that most of the black people in the United States are descendants of Africans that were brought over as slaves. That's not true. Very small amount of what they call African Americans, right? Had ancestors that were brought over on slave ships. Most of them were already here. Most of their ancestors were already here. They just, when the Europeans came over and started enslaving people, they just used the people that were already here, and then they brought. Some of them were brought from Africa, but the amount that were understood to have been brought from Europe or from Africa to over here is nigh on impossible, right? It doesn't. There's no way they can account for that. There's no proof. There's no evidence that all these millions of Africans were brought over here as slaves. There's no way they can prove that. But what can be proven is that there's archaeological evidence that there were Negroid, right, which is one of the three races, Negroid, Mongoloid, and Caucasoid. The oldest Negroid skull, the oldest skull that was found in South America was that of a Negroid skull. So black people were here long before, according to archaeological evidence, before the Mongoloids, which you now know as Native Americans and indigenous Americans, right? Y'all know who I'm talking about, right? Those are Mongoloid. Then you have Negroids, and then you have kind of a mix of, right, like the Aborigines in Australia. They were neither Negroid, Mongoloid, or Caucasoid. They were a whole different race, right? But they were closer to Negroid than any other race. So this is what is well known, right? It was not well known, obviously, but it is what it is, right? Just like if you look at the in Mexico, you have the Olmec, the Olmec statues and all that other stuff. You'll see that they depict African or Negroids, right? Black people. But black people were all over South America. Black people were all over the South of what they now call the United States. Many of the native tribes, the Seminoles and Blackfoot and all this other shit, Black Crow, were Afro and black. Were black. And so, but they'll tell you what they want to tell you. Now they're saying that the conquistadors who went over into Mexico and South America they had brought Africans with them, right? the conquistadors had brought black people when they first came to South America or Central America, and that would explain how it's nonsense. They were black people. They were coexisting with other indigenous people over centuries, but that's another story that I did not mean to go off into. But we occupied, just like by hearing here and by has said, we were all over the world long before the Europeans even thought to leave what you now know as Europe. Anyway, I mean, that's all that stuff will be revealed in time, and it will be well known all over the world. Like, there's no way they can much longer conceal that. All right, let's slam on our brakes. Why not? These people, man. I don't know what it is about people in the South. They love to tailgate people. They love to tailgate. I don't know what it is, right? Because in California, they like A lot of Californians that I know that I see on the road, they'll give you like 2 car lengths. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're in like rush hour traffic and you're stop and go, right? But out here, man, they love to ride your ass. I don't get it. I don't get it. Truth be told, not everyone is human either. Well, that's a whole nother ball of wax. Yeah, they will. I brake check motherfuckers all the time, but they can't brake check me because I always leave like 2 car lengths ahead of me. Right? This is how I roll right here. See how these motherfuckers slamming on his brake right now? Why is he doing that? You see how far I am from the car in front of me? This is how I drive. And so a lot of what happens is people will come, and you see that they think that's an invitation to get in front of me, right? But I mean, he did it the right way. He did it the right way. He uses blinker, whatever. But sometimes people will speed up in the right-hand lane and try to jump in front because they see this space. But all they end up doing is slamming on their brakes once they get in front of me, because now they're tailgating the motherfucker in front of them. You know what I'm saying? That's what they do. It's crazy. I couldn't, like, I need some time. I'm already a great reflexive driver, but I mean, goddamn, I want to give myself the best opportunity to not rear end anybody. I've never rear ended anybody in my driving career. I've been driving over 30 years. Almost 30 years I've been driving. I never rear ended anybody. You know what I'm saying? I don't get it. Anyway, this is what I deal with on the highways out here. So, I don't know, man. The whole point of this is that no one can explain to you logically why Bill Haney is not allowed. Why they feel Bill Haney shouldn't talk shit, but they never say anything about anybody else talking shit. It's kind of crazy, and it's a great example of how the world as a whole operates today. If you're somebody's favorite person, you can say whatever the fuck you want. But if they don't like you, you can't say shit. It's crazy though. Cancel you, all that type of shit. But if they're saying the shit that you want to hear, oh man, you can say whatever the fuck you want. Whatever you want. And that's a problem. That's a problem in society today. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna get off this here live stream, and I'll holler at y'all later. Much love. Like, share, subscribe, and we're gonna keep marching forward toward freedom. Peace.